Hello everyone, my name is Jamie, you can call me Jay. I am going to attempt to start a YouTube channel at 29, strictly as a hobby because I have a lot of thoughts. Some fun facts about me: I am 29, like I said. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I have a master's degree in psychology. And with the world we live in today, I see a lot of things on the internet that I think could use a discussion. And I'm aware there are a lot of YouTube channels like this out there. Some really great ones, some more interesting, if you will. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I've been thinking about it for so long. Why not give it a shot? I'm literally like, this is as casual as it gets. And this is my phone on a little tripod. I'm sitting on the floor. Yeah, I have a coffee to keep my hands busy in case I get a little too nervous talking. But I'm tired of thinking about doing it, and I'm like, why not just take the first step? Okay, so this is gonna be really cringe, very cringe. And I'll either like it or I won't like it. So the great thing about hobbies is you can try them out, and if you don't like them, you can stop and it's totally fine. And if you love them, you can keep going, and maybe you get really good at it, and maybe, you know, you kind of stay where you started. But either way, it's worth trying, it's worth a shot. And so, being as old as I am, I know I'm not like super old or anything, maybe to some of you, if anyone happens to come across this and watch it all the way through, but I am 29. I have lived most of my 20s, and I feel like doing anything at a later age in life can be really terrifying, to say the least. I'm definitely terrified sitting here right now, and I've done a lot of much more scarier things. I think it's just scary to put yourself out there, you know? So if you hear it in my voice, if you see it on my face or in my body language, it's on purpose. Like, I'm nervous and it's cringe, and it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, I was talking with my husband. I was like, what should I even talk about? Like, I have so many video ideas. I'm a big research person. It's something I loved in graduate school, was researching, like, the freedom of being able to pick your own topic, the freedom of being able to truly choose what you want to talk about, what you want to write about. Obviously there's some sort of criteria in school, right? But there's not here. And so there's so much freedom, and, you know, why not just start and talk about the things that I talk a lot with my husband about and with my siblings about, and maybe they get tired of it, maybe they don't, I don't know. But it's like, I could do a lot of research, and I could create different perspectives from what I usually see online, backed by research, and honestly some that are strictly just my own opinion. Like, it's okay if you share just your opinion, that's okay. I think that if you're consuming someone's opinion, like mine, you should take it with a grain of salt. You should always be cautious of what you're seeing on the internet. And again, including me, like, don't, I am very cautious of what I consume on the internet, and I'm very particular with who I choose to subscribe to and follow, because it does something for that person, right? When you do that, it pushes that content out there. And so I guess I should kind of start this by saying, if you happen to come across this video, and if you happen to watch it, you know, don't subscribe right away, don't like it, you know what I mean? Like, sit with it, see if you like me, if you like my vibe, even though I'm nervous or whatever you want to call it. It's not gonna be edited. I don't have any of that, like, software, if you will. Like, I don't know how to do any of that yet, and so I don't know how any of that's gonna go. But I do love research, and I do love to talk about different topics, whether it considers culture and the economy, and really just social media, because social media has truly changed the world so much to where I am terrified to start a channel at 29. And it really shouldn't be that way, but I'm terrified because there's so many expectations from society. Like, it feels like you can't even go to the store and grocery shop without certain expectations being placed on you. And now some expectations are good to have, right? Like, there are some situations in life that if you do something truly bad and awful, then it is truly bad and awful. Again, there's nuance to everything, but there are some situations where it's like, okay, like that is truly bad or that is truly great news, right? Like, you know what I mean. And so starting this YouTube channel, I'm like, should I? Like, I don't know. I don't have any equipment other than this little tripod that I don't even know when we bought it. I have no editing software, and that's gonna be like really annoying to some people that watch this, because some people make really edited videos. I don't really mind. I watch people who do both. I watch people who have clean cut, super edited, well put together videos. Obviously that's the goal. That's like the far sight outlook, right? But I don't have that. And if I keep telling myself that I can't start until I have the right stuff, I'm not ever gonna start. And the goal is to just start. The goal is to just put myself out there, see if I like it, see if I don't, and you know, we'll go from there. But anyway, the expectations of what social media has become, including YouTube, is really intimidating. And when you're older, it's even more intimidating, because you no longer look like super young and peppy, and like, I'm a mom, so like I no longer look like before I was a mom. But it's like, none of that should stop me from trying, right? Like, none of that should keep me from putting myself out there for nothing that's bad. I would hope that this channel is a good, positive place, you know, that's my choice to make it that way. It doesn't mean that everything we would discuss is, you know, good and positive, but I would really aim to present the information in a good and positive way, or the perspective, if you will. Because that's another thing, is like, it really is important how people on the internet receive not only the individual, so appearance, sadly, sometimes it matters, and a lot of time when it comes to social media, it really matters, okay? But outside of that, so if you can like check the, you know, appearance or presentation box, if you will, how the information is delivered is so important. So how someone receives something can really make a difference as to whether they hear and like let the knowledge sink in. You know what I'm saying? So my goal here, what I mean by positive, is to deliver my message or deliver my perspective along with the research in a positive manner that's received well, if that makes sense, even if the topic isn't very positive. But what prompted me to do this today is I was thinking about something that always bothers me, and that's influencers who you have followed for a while. So like people you hopefully truly like, I think you should be critical again with the content you consume. So I'm very critical of who I follow. I have to really like what they're saying, you know, not mind what they're doing. And appearances as far as like where you live or like what your kitchen looks like and stuff like that, that doesn't really matter to me, because everybody's in a different place of life, right? But most importantly, what you say, and if you are acting by what you say, really, you know, if your actions match your words, that really means something to me. And something that bothers me, even with, you know, influencers I followed for a while, and which is not what I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to be an influencer, just trying to talk and chat and share a sound opinion on the internet. That's literally all that it would be. Is that, you know, I watch them. Like, I'm not gonna share the channel because I love the channel, and overall the content is great. I don't have a problem with it, and I like the advice that she gives. But she was sharing, she tends to share sponsorship that is for a company where I only see them use it when it's a sponsorship. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, have you ever had an influencer share something and the only time they share it is when it's sponsored? You don't ever see it pop up randomly in another video. Like, you don't even really see it in the background, okay? Like, this is how little it seems that they use it. And I know we have to take that with a grain of salt too, right? Like, we cannot really sit here and tell ourselves that they don't ever use it. Like, this is, you know, they're lying. They don't really love it. Like, we don't really know. At the end of the day, we don't really know. But these are one of the annoying conversations that I would love to have and dig a little deeper into, because it is a little frustrating, right? Like, it is a little frustrating when everything already feels like a commercial and like you're being marketed to, because you kind of are. Kind of getting off sidetrack here, but what prompted me to just go ahead and take the leap of faith today is that I'm so annoyed with having these same like conversations, even with myself, like in my head. Like I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, like this, that, and the third, and I'm like I'm thinking of the research I could do, and how could I truly like deep dive into this situation, and how would I talk about this to someone who might not care, but I can kind of, you know, get the information to sink in to where they are thinking a little more critically when they move on to the next video that they watch on the internet. And so yeah, here we are. I don't know if that makes any sense, but here we are. The idea of, you know, being annoyed with like when an influencer takes a sponsorship and you're like, do you really though? Do you really love that? Or did the money just talk good enough? And again, I don't blame you. Like they have to get paid, right? And there's always nuance to everything. There's always nuance, you know, I get it. I know, like the influencer situation topic it's a touchy topic. But my point is that it's like, I was thinking about the same old, you know, what's the morality dilemma of the influencer? Okay, so like when influencers, you know, like I feel like there has to be a point to where even if they don't love a product, they recommend it because of the dollar. Like if the dollar is good enough, they recommend it. And we as the receiver, we just don't receive that in a good way, right? Like we're, you know, a little more critical of it. We're like, this sucks, like please don't share it unless you really love it. And I still stand behind that. Like that's kind of where the influencer was born. But it's a little prickly, like of a subject. There's a lot of nuance to it, and I just, thinking about this today while I watched their video, I was like, you know, let me just start. I'm terrified to do this at 29, excuse me. But it's like, why not just start? Just start and see where it goes. I might not be that great at it, or maybe I am. This video is going to be really cringe because it's the very first one, and I don't know anyone who doesn't have a very cringe first step with anything, right? Like, you have to take the first step to do anything, and to become better at what you're trying to do, you have to take the first step. And so here we are, taking the first step. I hope that you weren't totally scared off by this video. It's going to be a little shorter and sweeter, and I kind of rambled, but that's okay. That's just who I am. So again, you can call me Jay, and welcome.